I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. We seem to have lost connection for just a second. But we're back now. And we're going to be continuing to work on this little platformer thing we're making. Yeah, my internet just cut out randomly for a few seconds. Not sure why, but we still have just under an hour that I can work on this, so it's going to be going to about 5 o'clock, sorry, British summertime. Don't know what that is where you are, but we will figure it out. Now, where was I? So we want to join, attack, and costume. That's what we want. Let's see if this works, shall we? Let's see. Slow this down slightly. Can't figure out why this isn't glitching out. Let's see, no. Well, we want to set state to done at the beginning. Let's see if this works. There we go. It's going the wrong direction, but for now, we are getting a bit of an animation going. And it's a bit slow, so let's... let's see, let's make a variable. If direction is greater than 90, then we can set attack direction to minus 90. Minus 90? Let's go less than 0, because minus 90 is positive 90. And then under player, point in direction, attack direction. Okay, this just needs to be reversed then. Of course it does. Then let's do can do set size effect to 100. Then let's do a forever if touching attack. Set size effect to 90. Repeat 5 times. Change size by 2. So it wasn't affected there. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now I want to give us something for destroying these things. Let's duplicate this. Create a little coin, shall we? That we can collect. In terms of its design, how about something like this? Little pumpkin coins. If it's not obvious, I am making everything to do with this game up as I go along. But I think it's going to be cool. So, switch costume to pumpkin. Let's do this type thing. So we could differentiate whether it's a coin or a pumpkin. So I'm going to set this type to 0. That's fine. If this type is equal to 0, then do that. And same on this one. Half is equal to 0. Set. Let's make it some coin spawn. Let's set this type to block actually Oh no, that's really fresh. Coins. Repeat 5 times. Create a clone of myself. And when we've done that, what we're going to do is set this type to coin, show. Let's see, this X val, this were only this Y val, set this X val and this Y val to something random. So I want to create an effect of them like flying out in different directions. So let's pick random, so -10 to 10 for both. Then repeat until and wait, both of these equal to 0 because you want them to slow down first and then move towards the player. So what we're going to do is repeat until X val is equal to 0. No, not this. With this X val, this Y val. Set this X val to times 0.95. If this X val is less than 0.0, set this X val to 0. Then we do the same for the Y velocity. And what this is going to do is, hopefully, this should slow them down until they both reach 0. So now we can make sure the X and Y change by these values. And see what happens if we go over and attack this pumpkin. They all flew out in different directions, kind of. Went too far. Wanting this to slow down a lot faster. So let's see. That's too slow. That's the thing with coding, it's a lot of trial and error. Oh, and this needs to be absolute. This needs to be absolute. See. 4, 5. There we go, that works a lot better. Now, repeat until touching player. Point towards player. Change this. I should use the X val again for this one. I change this by 1. Move this X val steps. So I want to accelerate towards the player. Then delete this clone. We also need a money variable. Change money by 1. Let's see. Oh yeah, I want to make this sure that this degrees. Let's see. There we go. That works quite nicely, I think. I like that a lot. So let's see, shall we? We now need a display for money because I'm not using scratches as ugly variables. Let's see. One. So we just need to make all the numbers so that we can display all of this. Da-da. One, two, three. Oh yeah, as a rule I do try to avoid using Scratch's UI because it's ugly. I don't even like the default fonts that Scratch uses. I think for the most part Scratch's like default fonts are ugly. And I know you can add custom fonts into Turbo Warp, but often I find like it doesn't look quite right. For something like this it's probably okay, but like I noticed that if you're using pixel art fonts it's really hard to get the size right if you're using like, because I have, for instance, the fonts I use for A Farmer's Life saved as TTF files. So I could just upload the Farmer's Life fonts onto Turbo Warp, which you'd think would make my life so much easier of typing and stuff. But I can never get the size right. So, you know, I tend to just hand write in all my numbers instead of uploading them to Turbo Warp or using anything that Scratch has pre-inbuilt. So, got the first 4, 5, let's see, right up to there. I would say using, like, making sure that all the art's consistent by using custom fonts can make a world of difference to how good your game feels, though. Like, I don't get why Scratch's UI has to be so ugly. Like, I swear they chose the ugliest design they could. Like, bright orange, really? Like, I have not seen a single game that UI just works with. Like, I think they deliberately chose the design that's compatible with absolutely nothing. Like, why is it bright orange? Like, I feel like if the variable was just written on, like, a dark grey instead of orange, so it's like a darker version of the box colour, it would just look better. But no, they chose a really random colour that, like, unless you're working with a lot of orange in your game, is going to look really random and weird. And, yeah, there's no real way to change it, so... stuck with ugly variables. Let's see, so 7, move on to 8, which sometimes I just cheat with 8, and instead of doing it as lines, I do circles and just overlap them. Eight. And then for 9 you can just get rid of the bottom circle, add a line, and then bend it out slightly to make it fit better. And then we can do nice big 0. Like so. And because I don't know how big I want the numbers to get, I'm going to do some stuff so that I can do larger numbers without needing more sprites. So I'm going to create a decimal point. Bring that down. And then I'm going to create some letters as well. So like K for 1,000, M for 1,000,000, and so on and so forth. For a game that I do like my Farmer's Life project, I've gone up to like the trillions, I think, at this point. Just because the numbers were getting so large. I don't think that's going to be overly necessary for this project. Okay. Do M. I don't think the numbers are going to go above 1,000,000. So I'll just do KM and then like a plus. So I can do like 999 million plus for anything which is greater than like 1,000,000,000. But like I said, I can't see any of the numbers in this game getting quite that ridiculous, personally. Bring that up. Leave that in. Okay, then we just need a plus symbol. And I think I'm going to change the colour of all this as well, because I don't think the black really fits with anything else we've got going. So let's take this. Fill tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I often try to avoid true blacks and true whites in projects. Just because I find it looks better. Like it looks easier on the eyes if you soften the colour slightly. So you make the black slightly lighter, the white slightly darker. It tends to make things just look a little bit cleaner. Now we're going to have to create a code to display fonts with, to display numbers using this. So first we need to do show value. Also need a clone script. So when I receive message 1, let's see, smash into 1, go here, then repeat 5 times. Create clone of myself. Why is each one about 11? Okay. Change X by 12. And then we need this val variable, so that we can make each letter have its own ID, I guess. Then change this val by 1. And this actually should be under clone, and then we can clone. Looks hide. When I start as a clone, we're going to looks show. Actually, no, don't show forever. If score, if money is greater than, not that's the 1,000, that makes it the thousands, millions. So yeah, that'll be that. You want to show value 999 M plus. Use lower cases for the letters, right? Yeah. Else. What this script does basically is just determine which letters it should use and stuff. Based if it like it shortens it if it's greater than say 1,000. Shortener to edit letter. Oh, didn't have caps lock on. There we go. So, shortener. Money divided by million. The letter M. If, else, dot. Letter 3, because basically you don't want it to end on a decimal point. That always looks a little odd. Letter 4, actually, shouldn't it? Show value, join letter 1 of value, letter 2 of value, 3 of value, letter. So we need an extra join. And then else we can do the same 999k, this time dividing by 1000. Else we should just show value money. Let's see if this works, shall we? And then we need to do what show value means. So if this value is greater than length of value, then hide, else will show, and switch costume to letter this value. Oh yeah, that's right. So then we need to set money to 0. There we go. That looks pretty good, I think. So now what we can do is, I'm going to rename this to UI. Got about half an hour left for streaming time. So now we can actually turn this into a bit of a game, can't we? So let's see what we can do with the level, shall we? Let's just delete that for now. Level 1. Instead of going, let's pause this. You get over it. Instead of going to 0, let's go minus 194 and negative 91. Let's see. Now we need to make it so that Pete, pick random, save message 1, and I'm going to stick this into a custom block so I can run without screen refresh it. And then we can set the X to be something random. And I actually need to make a game out of this. So let's see. Get some different levels, shall we? So if we add a bit, make some stuff for you to jump up. like this. When I receive message 1, switch costume to level 1. And I feel like we need a variable to say which level we are currently on. So set level to 1. Then let's just put this into forever loop. Switch costume to level. So that's if, what's the expression here? If X position is greater than 200, 220, change level by 1, set X to negative 220, and broadcast new level. Let's do that. And then destructibles. When I receive new level, delete this clone. I think no, I'm going to put that into its own block. Because I want to make sure all the clones delete before I run what happens next. So I found this is a pretty good way to do that. Let's do I want this if level is equal to 1. So I think what I want to do is make it so that there's going to be something you can't jump over until you harvest enough pumpkins. And you can buy like an upgrade. Right now this is too short. But if I squish it this way and bring it up to there. Like, I can't get over this. But if I make it so you need like 20 pumpkins to purchase something, you can keep going back to level 1, harvesting the pumpkins. And so on. And then hopefully that'll make a little bit of a game. So, I'm going to make it so you can go back the other way. Then I'm going to put an if else function in here, so because I only wanted to go back if it's not equal to 1, if the level's not 1, because otherwise you end up in like a negative level, and I don't really want that. Level is equal to 1. Set X to negative 220. So we've got more pumpkins to harvest. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is going to put a little vendor here that you can buy an extra like jump height feature from. I think they're like goblin, maybe. Don't know why. Like, or like a little L, like, I don't know. Don't know what you call it, but like a little gremlin creature. Let's give him some big old ears. And I think I'd like it be like sat on a mushroom. So give him big old bat ears. Dark green for the eyes to keep everything in a nice colour palette. I think this guy's gonna be cute. Then I feel like giving him like a little apron. Like a little stripy apron. No, I feel like this guy's going to need a name. So the pumpkin creature, the player's called Kenny. I wonder what this guy should be called. Yeah, little apron. Bring his face forward, just over the apron. Go some deeper red stripes, I think. Oh, let's use this tool for that. Bring this down. Do that. Then let's give him some little feet. And some arms. And I'm going to make him sat on a little toadstool. Even though this guy is definitely not a toad. Do the toadstool in the same colour as his apron to try and keep the sprite looking nice and consistent. There and there. It's down to here. Create a bit of a shadow underneath him where he's sitting. bring it down to here. And I'm going to create a little icon for when you're near him. That just tells you that you can buy a jump height boost from this guy. So, round off the corners. Let's bring this down here. And create a darker inset to make it almost look like it's on a frame. So if you can hear the neighbour's dog, by the way. So, we need like some font. It's gonna just say you can jump. So it's going to say jump height or jump boost. See, jump. Yeah, I'm not going to have time to make this into a full proper game today. But I think once I get this done, this is basically going to be the primary gameplay loop. I think later in the game we'll have it so like you need to have really high amounts of pumpkin coins. I know to get those would be to like fight monsters or something. Probably not the most original game concept ever, but you know. Considering 2 hours ago I had zero clue what I was going to make, I think it's pretty cool to see what we've come up with here. I like to make it so that you jump, instead of it just increasing your jump height, which I think if you're trying to make that a mechanic that lasts for the entire game, you'd get quite ridiculous quite fast. I might make it so that when you buy the jump boost, the goblin just leaves the toadstool, and then you can use that as like a bounce pad. Jump boost. Yeah, I'm probably going to stream for like another 10 minutes or so, and then call it a day. coin symbol. Take that and shrink that down to scale. Shrinky shrink. What size I use for this? 3. There we go. And now we need a costume for once the goblin has left. Just like that. So let's create a list. This is unlocked boosts. Then when I receive message 1, can delete all of unlocked boosts. And go to -10, -88 forever if level equals 2. Looks show else hide. If else unlocked boosts contains 2, switch costume to 3, else if distance to player, let's say 50 for now, costume 2, I'll switch costume to costume 1, so the bubble appears when you get close to it. See how this looks. A bit too close, let's say 100. Try this. Yeah, and state if set brightness effect to 0, then if touching mouse pointer in this state where it's displaying the speech bubble, we'll set brightness effect 50. No, that's not 50, 15 I meant. Let's try that. So if mouse down and is greater than 20 is greater than 19, let's make it so you can actually buy this little jump boost. Add 2 to unlocked boosts. Let's hide this list to make things a bit easier. Some more. Now we need to make it so you can actually jump on the jump pad. So let's go back to here. If y-val is less than 0 and touching boost and unlocked boost contain level, Wyvern. Let's see if the 25 works. So first we need all of the stuff we need to do this. There we go. Now we can jump over. However, if we try to do it before this, obviously it wouldn't work. Yes, that works quite nicely. And honestly, given the fact that that basically wraps up the basic gameplay loop, I think I'm going to leave the stream there for now. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more streams in the future, please let me know. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week with another video.